Hey guys, this is Matthew from Crypto Traders Pro and CryptoTradersPro.com. This video, I'm going to recap some of our best trades in January 2019 and also what I think is going to be one of the top plays in February 2019. So to start this video off, I want to share a quick tip that I ended up posting in the Discord chat room a couple weeks back about managing risk. And I always am getting questions of people looking to take positions and asking how much should I be entering this position with, how much should I be putting in this trade, how much should I be risking on this trade. Here's some basic advice on managing risk. Take a starter position, which is generally 10 to 25% of what you're willing to risk on that trade. If I have a $10,000 account and I'm willing to put only $5,000 into that trade, then I might only want to put $500 to $1,250 for my initial entry. Then once the trade starts going up and in my direction, then I'm able to move my stop loss up in order to ensure profits, and then I'll look to add to that position. So the reasoning for this is because if you're jumping in a trade with a 10% risk and you have a $10,000 account, you don't want to jump into that trade with all $10,000 up front. You want to slowly build a position. Maybe put 500, maybe put 1250 or 2,000 at most in at one time. This way, if it starts to go against you and you do end up losing 10% on that position, it's not going to be 10% of your entire account. It's only going to be a small portion of your account. My biggest piece of advice here is only add to your winners. Once your trade starts going in the direction that you're betting, whether it's long or short, then you're going to want to look to add to your winners and move your stop loss up. I have a great series that goes more in depth into this called How to Grow a Small Cryptocurrency Trading Account. If you guys are interested, it'll be somewhere floating around on this video. It's a whole playlist, 7 or 8 videos on there, several hours of content. This is great if you're a beginning trader. Now let's jump into the signals. So the first signal we had in 2019, very first one, came on January 7th. And this was for BMVUSDT. So this is Binance coin being traded against Tether, which is the US dollar stablecoin Tether. So essentially what I was looking at this chart originally, and this is the BMVUSDT chart at the day that I posted it, was this kind of breakout pattern. It looked like this possible inverse head and shoulders pattern forming, and my targets were nearing above $7, $8, $8.60 was the highest one. So I was looking for this pattern to play out. Now on the flip side, on the BTC chart, which again, I believe both of these should be evaluated, the USDT chart or the USD pair and the BTC pair, because if they both look bullish, then the odds of it going up are much higher. Whereas if one looks bullish, one looks questionable or bearish, then we kind of have a conflict there and mixed signs. But the BNB USDT chart, which we could have also traded against this, but I had USD in my account. I was looking to trade with Tether. I didn't have a lot of Bitcoin that I had, so I wanted to play the USDT chart instead of buying Bitcoin and buying BNB. It's just another step in the process. But the BMVBTC chart was forming this ascending triangle at the time. It looked like it was getting stuck at this resistance right around here and here. Then it finally had the breakout. My target happened to be up here at this resistance level, which it ended up actually hitting nearly perfectly. So here is the updated BNB USDT chart. And again, our signal happened in the beginning of the month on January 7th. So I'm going to drop down a nice vertical line on January 7th so you guys can see when the signal was called. That was on this day right here. And I was looking for this pattern to break out past the resistance level right here. And it looks like it just did. So on the day I called the signal, it ended up breaking out here. It looked like it was holding on this retest, and it looked like it was going to continue its run up. Well, unfortunately, this didn't play out perfectly, but we were still able to capitalize on some profits. We were just a little bit too early here. So again, the original signal was called on January 7th, 2019. Now, I posted an update in the admin charts and analysis on 1/16/2019. I posted all of these charts, BNB USDT. Now, what I was looking at here, this is the 4-hour chart, and this is as it was playing out, was this similar fractal playing. And if you guys don't know what a fractal is two very similarities between the chart, where the patterns look pretty close to identical. They might not be perfect, but they're very close in relation. So again, this was the lowest point on the chart between all of 2018 and 2019 so far. It made its first higher low right here, where I had the big move up. It kind of dumped off, bottomed right here, and then it reversed rather quickly. Same thing happened here, where we saw a very, very similar pattern play as this gray box right here. We saw the big run up, which was right here, big run up, had it crash down, which happened right here, consolidated sideways a little bit, right here, consolidated sideways, had this fake down right here, had the fake down right here, and then it started getting bought back up, and it started moving pretty quickly. So it got bought back up, had a little dip right here, and then it started moving up again. Got bought back up, had a little dip right here, started moving back up again. So this was on the 16th. So right now, this was a couple weeks ago, and I posted, these two look very similar, these two patterns on the chart. So if this pattern repeats where it makes the higher low, goes on a run, makes a higher high, again, here's the high, here's the higher high. If it makes a higher high, we could see this thing go all the way up to $7. And this is what it looked like on the daily chart. So again, very similar patterns, it looks like right there. And the BMVBTC daily, again, this is something we were paying attention to. We weren't in this exact trade against the BMVBTC chart, but I was noticing the ascending triangle starting to play out here, and we were getting that breakout pattern. So the next chart I posted happened to be on the 19th, and this is in the BMV chat room. And I'm just going to plug this in here quick. In the Crypto Traders Pro chat room, we have a section called CTP Top Picks. The Crypto Traders Pro Top Picks, it's 10 or 11 coins that the community voted on, 250 members in our pro community. Everyone voted on the top coins that people wanted to keep an eye on. So we made individual chat rooms for all these coins. These are the top coins that were voted by the community. So we post charts in here, and all relevant discussion is kind of filed and stored in these chat rooms. So we do have one for BNB because this is something that the majority of our community likes. This is something we look to frequently trade, and we also think it's a good long-term investment depending on the condition of Binance and how that evolves. But as of right now, we really like BNB. It's in our CTP top picks. So on the 19th, this was 3 days after that previous update, I drew out this chart, which consists of, again, what I've been talking about this whole time, the lows of 2018, 2019, the higher low, the first higher low to form. We didn't get that trend line touch, but we did get it here. The third higher low in a row, so 2 higher lows in a row, and we had 1 higher high. We had another higher high. Are we going to get the third higher high? Following this similar trend line, it would put us right around $7. So again, we have our signal active. I ended up taking profits on this run. I jumped back in just under $6. A lot of people in the community also were following this trade along, as it was an active signal at the time. So we were looking for this higher high. I did post this chart initially on the 19th. So the next update that I posted in the BMB chat room was the same chart. And this is really just crazy how this played out, because I had this chart drawn up for several weeks, and it ended up touching that upper trend line nearly perfectly. So I just wanted to highlight this chart and how this evolved. It looks very similar to this chart right here. I did move it over to TradingView. This previous chart was posted from the Binance exchange, but I put it over on TradingView to clear it up a little bit. So what I had was this higher high drawn out from this line, and I ended up taking profits. I sold all the BNB the other day, just under $7, between $6.90 and $7.10. I sold it all. I announced it to everybody in the group. I'm out of this position. I'm looking to move into another play, which we will talk about later in the video. But I sold it all, and then crazy that the next day it just tanked. It dropped all the way back down, and look at where it's at on the chart. Again, this is very, very interesting. We are seeing yet another potential higher low forming on the chart. This would be the third consecutive higher low forming, but it needs to hold this as support. So if you are looking for a trade on BNB, this could be an opportunity. Playing your risk off about 590-ish. If it does break out of this trend that's been forming, this pattern's going to be invalidated. We won't want to be in there in this play to stick around and see what happens. So make sure, if you're looking to take a position on BNB, you're looking at this chart, this series of higher lows that's been forming. We have a great risk reward opportunity here, approximately 3% risk if you're playing off the 590s, which would be breaking down just outside of this pattern. So yeah, it looks about 3 to 5% risk for potential reward if it does make a higher high of 20% or so. So I think BNB is actually a decent trading setup. This has been something I've played all month. I've been in and out of it a couple times. I made really good profits on it. This was my biggest trade in January 2019. We have a couple other trades I'm going to break down as well, but BMB was by far my biggest winner of January 2019, and it played out nearly perfectly, touching this upper trend line, rejecting, coming back down, touching the lower trend line. Let's see how it continues to play out. So you guys have to make sure, keep an eye on the daily chart here. If it does continue to move up, then let's see what happens. The BMVBTC chart, let's see how this played out. The signal was called on this line right here. Again, we were playing the USDT chart, but this is important to consider as well. It did break out of the ascending triangle, and it hit my target perfectly. Remember, I had my target set right up here at 0.02 approximately, which was at this resistance. Notice how these candles kissed that resistance level, rejected sharply. It was almost textbook perfect. I mean, we couldn't have had a more perfect signal. It was called perfectly, and it played out almost perfectly as well. We did have that little hiccup where I called the signal here. It looked like it was going to break out, then it came back down on us. It stopped me out in a small profit. A lot of people in the Crypto Traders Pro group ended up profiting on this because while it was moving up, we were also moving our stop loss up. So we got in around $6.20. We moved our stop loss up to $6.50. It ran to $6.80, and then it came coming down here all the way back to $5.40. Once we saw this green kind of bullish engulfing candle and this trend line start to form, another higher low, which was the low here, another higher low here, then we jumped back in and rode it all the way back up. So this is a great profit this month. Let's move on to the next one. So the next signal that was called in January was by Kurt. Kurt is my partner at Crypto Traders Pro, and he decided he was going to short Ethereum Classic. Now, the reasoning behind his short on Ethereum Classic was Ethereum Classic has experienced a 51% attack, and the developers are not even aware of it until Coinbase let them know. It is low liquidity, low volume version of Ethereum that can be shorted on Bitfinex. So they weren't accepting deposits on the exchanges because they didn't want more people to sell it, because they were having a 51% attack. Not good. Anytime I hear the word attack in anything regarding a cryptocurrency, that's not good. It's something I want to stay away from, except if you're shorting. And Ethereum Classic does allow you to short on Bitfinex. Kurt was taking a short position here around $5, $5.25-ish, and wrote it all the way down. And I do believe he did close this signal the other day. He ended up making a pretty good win on it. So we had some updates here. Part 2 of the signal. Yeah, we did close the signal. He made about 20% profits, and it did just continue to dump the other day. So Ethereum Classic, 51% attack happened. That is a strong short signal. Right when that 51% was happening, that's when we decided to short it. Instead of going on Twitter and talking about it, we went, took action, took the short position, quick 20%. That was another winner on the month. The next signal that we ended up having, I called on ZRXBTC. Buy up to 8,000 Satoshis, stop loss 7,300 Satoshis. This was on the 16th of this month. So, signal happened to be called on this day right here, as I spotted this descending wedge pattern, which is a bullish pattern. Now, this has since retraced below the signal price, but we are long out of this position. I announced that we closed the position. I had an update here, move stop loss up, move it to 8,300 Satoshis, always talking about it. This is what I always love to do. Buy below 8,000, move the stop loss up at least 10%, 15% or so. So no matter what happens, we're going to profit on this trade, and that's exactly what happened. We moved the stop loss up, and the next day we stopped out of this position, 8,300, stopped out for a small profit, looking to move into another play. And what happened here on this chart was I didn't jump in on the signal. I called the signal here, but I said buy up to 8,000. So I actually figured, okay, it's probably going to reject off this upper trend line again. It's done it a few times already. We saw it once here, so twice, 3 times. I figured, it's probably going to happen again because there's still some room left in this descending wedge. So I didn't want to chase it right there. I was being patient. I waited to get it in the buy zone, which was below 8,000 Satoshis, which happened to be in this green box right here. So I got it just under 8,000 Satoshis. I was moving my stop loss up as it had this breakout, and then this candle closed kind of a shooting star candle. So that's a sign of a reversal. And I decided, you know what, this is way too risky. I'm not going to hold this position. I'm going to exit, take my profits, and wait to reassess the chart. And Look what happened here is it dropped back down to the bottom of the descending wedge, and this is another one that could be a potential good buying opportunity. We have the bullish divergence forming on the RSI, where the RSI is making higher lows, meanwhile the price is making lower lows. So this is actually a bullish divergence pattern, which is a momentum indicator signaling a reversal. So what I'm looking at on the ZRX chart to play out, again, we are not in this position anymore. We made a small profit on this move right here on the shooting star candle. As soon as we saw it closed barely green, I decided, you know what, it's too risky. This doesn't look like a good breakout. Could be a fake out. And the next day it decided to dump. So it's very important to move your stop loss up when you're in the profits. We saw this candle close green. It looked like it was a solid breakout. The next one moved up. It was green. It was all the way up here at almost 9,000 Satoshis. Then it got sold off into. So that showed us a sign of weakness. I wanted to get the hell out of there, get my profits, move on to the next one. But I'm still looking at ZRX as a potential opportunity depending on how it holds down here. If ZRX manages to hold the bottom of this descending wedge pattern, then it's likely, and I like the RSI here too, if it gets green tomorrow, this could be another great entry. So by the time this video is out and you guys see it, pay attention to the ZRX chart. This could be a really sweet entry on a play that I am also bullish on in the long term. So that was all of our signals for January. We only had 3 signals. That's generally how it is. We aren't a group that calls signal after signal after signal every day. We aren't day traders. We buy these positions sometimes with the intention of holding for several weeks or months. Sometimes it only lasts a week or so, like ZRX. Sometimes it lasts a whole month, like BMB did, where we call the signal here and it was a good play for almost the whole month. ETC, same thing. It's been a good play and it's still a good play. We had a really good entry on the short and it's been a good play. So we buy these positions or short them with the intention of holding for several days, several weeks, even months sometimes. So we are not the type of group that's signal after signal after signal. We don't trade small caps that often. We're mainly focused on the larger market cap coins, ones that have established themselves. They have some liquidity, they have volume, they're on the major exchanges. These are my favorite coins to trade. So as promised, if you guys have made it through the video, I'm going to give you my recommendation of what to pay attention to in February of 2019. And this shouldn't be a huge surprise to you guys because we did just do a video with them. And if you listen to the video, you'd be bullish on it as well in this coming month. And this is BAT, BATBTC on Binance. This is something I've played. We've had 2 signals on it in 2018. Both of them were the same. This was the buy zone on both signals. This was the sell zone on both signals. Again, this is in 2018, but we haven't had any signal on BAT. It's not a current signal right now in the pro group. My reason behind it is I'm not a huge fan of the chart. I'm not a big fan of how it's been playing out, but there's a big but here. I know there is some massive news coming out in the coming weeks, potentially maybe the next month or so, that you guys aren't going to want to sleep on. I believe this could really be a game changer for BAT because they're finally going to have their working product launch, hopefully. And this is just what I picked up with that interview with Luke Malks last week. If you guys haven't seen the interview, you could check it out. We'll post it somewhere in this video and in the description below. So check out the video with Luke Malks. We did an interview with him. He's the business development guy over at Brave and BAT. And he gave us a ton of information that you guys are going to want to listen to. So pay attention to BAT over the coming month. I'm not a huge fan on this chart, and I am a technical trader, so I prefer looking at the charts, but the fundamental catalysts that are coming up for BAT are very, very positive, and it's what everybody has been anticipating, the BAT ads launch, and I'm pretty sure it's coming up in the next few weeks or month, or very soon. I don't have a date. There's nothing out in the public yet, but I have that feeling that it's going to start coming because of what we discussed with the interview with Luke Malks the past week. And just everything that I've been following with BAT, I really like this project. I think it's going to do well long term as well. And I can tell you that Crypto Traders Pro is going to be the first one signed up on their platform, doing their ads and testing it out for with the community. So pay attention to BAT. If you're looking for an entry on here, try to get it as low as possible. Again, slowly scale in. Right now on this chart, if I had to say, under 33,000 Satoshis, but I have orders all the way down to 3,000 Satoshis down here. So keep an eye on it. This is something you guys are going to want to be in by the time that BAT ads launches, because that's really what BAT has been all about. We haven't seen a working product yet. Yes, they have the Brave browser, but we haven't been really able to use BAT for what it's intended for, and that is for opting in to view ads, or for advertisers to advertise on their platform. As you guys may know, a lot of the cryptocurrency related projects, including ours, any cryptocurrency related business, that is, you can't advertise on Facebook, Google, Twitter, YouTube, basically anywhere, because they ban it. You can't even do MailChimp, which is an email marketing service, because cryptocurrency is banned. They banned our accounts on there, and we don't even promote ICOs or any of that. We're just a cryptocurrency trading and educational community. So I'm really excited for Brave. It's going to be one of the first platforms that we, as a cryptocurrency related business, are going to be able to take advantage of. And hopefully, it really is a big hit for them. And I'm really excited to see how this plays out. And BAT is one that I'm betting on for February 2019. So if you guys want to join me, great. If not, watch it from the sidelines and see how it plays out. I will say that our coin picks on the YouTube channel have been very accurate. I'm not here to pump BAT. It's a multi-billion-dollar market cap coin with a billion supply, so I'm sure our video has little influence on the price, but I will say BAT is something you guys want to pay attention to over the next few weeks, or even all of this year, really. So BAT is my pick for February. It's not an active signal in the Crypto Traders Pro group. I went over all of our signals that we called in January. We had 3 calls and 3 winners in January. It's been a good month for us, even though Bitcoin has been relatively stable or stagnant. It's been kind of slow. We haven't had any massive winners. All the winners we've had are 20% to 50% wins. Nothing too crazy, but those base hits add up, and I always encourage people, take profits. You're going to compound your gains and continue to grow your account. So let's wrap it up there, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know in the comments below if you are going to buy BAT, or if you're bullish on BAT, and if you like this type of content. If you guys are interested in joining the Crypto Traders Pro community, there are over 250 members in our pro group. You could head over to CryptoTradersPro.com and see what we have to offer over there. So if you're looking to join a trading community, you're looking for signals, analysis, talking to other serious cryptocurrency traders that are looking at the markets, working together, all of this is going on in the Crypto Traders Pro group. And a lot of these signals, they come from a community effort. Meaning that somebody from the community said, hey, look at this chart. I think it looks pretty good. And I pull it up and I'm like, hey, I agree. Let's call a signal on it. I find an entry, find a good risk, and it goes from there. So we've done a lot of signals that have been spotted by somebody else in the group. And I really like that. That's what we intended with Crypto Traders Pro, to be a community of traders that work together in the markets. So my name is Matthew from CryptoTradersPro.com. You could find me on Facebook, or you can find Crypto Traders on Facebook, the largest cryptocurrency trading community on Facebook, CryptoTradersPro.com, and you could also follow me on Twitter, which I recently rebranded to MJ Trader Pro. MJ is my initials, Matthew John. MJ also stands for marijuana, because marijuana stocks is how I got into trading. MJ Trader, marijuana trader. I got into marijuana stocks in 2012 when Colorado legalized marijuana. MJ Trader Pro, because Crypto Traders Pro, I am one of the pros at Crypto Traders Pro. So this is my new Twitter, MJ Trader Pro. You guys could find me on there. I'm active every single day, talking with the community as well. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. This is Matthew signing off, and I will see you on the moon.